I'm here on the muddy banks of the Chena River. It's a sure sign that spring has arrived as the Chena flows freely and swiftly, fed by the tons of ice that have melted in recent weeks. Water sports are a favorite pastime of the Alaskan spring and summer, but one thing you won't see much of, swimming. This water may be ice-free, but it's also ice cold. What does a cup of coffee made from beans sold for $300 a pound taste like? Apparently, it's the cat's meow, sort of. Coffee aficionados lined up Friday in San Mateo, California at the Bean Street Cafe to try a cup of coffee made in a most unusual way. The Kopi Luwak beans begin as regular coffee cherries in Indonesia until they are eaten by lemurs, a type of civet cat. Stomach enzymes give the beans their undoubtedly unique flavor, and the beans are collected intact and by hand on the other side of the digestive process. The coffee beans are hard to come by, and the Bean Street Cafe charged $10 a cup to the intrepid coffee drinkers. 2 pounds of the coffee beans were sold as coffee by the cup to more than 40 people. Driving in Alaska can be a real challenge sometimes. Most folks would probably have you believe that it's the snow and ice that makes it more complicated, but I'm of a different mind. Spring and summer exposes the ground to chuck holes, or potholes as some people might like to call them. And when you hit one, you won't forget it. However, it cannot be said that everything that comes from an animal's digestive tract is good for us. The Fox Spring Water Station may reopen soon as state workers began decontaminating it Thursday. Misdirected runoff by a private landowner made its way into the well's casing, contaminating it with fecal coliform bacteria. State officials got calls Tuesday afternoon that described the water from the well as having a bad taste and being discolored. The landowner is not considered at fault and has repaired the problem. 2 businesses located in Fox, the Silver Gulch Brewery and Pioneer Wells Water Delivery, were not affected by the contamination. Anyone with questions about the Fox well can call the DEC at 451-2108 or the DOT at 451-2308. The vista behind me, almost 200 miles away, is a glorious reminder of the beauty of Alaska. On a clear day with plenty of sunlight, it's a spectacular sight as atmospheric conditions magnify the snow-capped range. What I continue to find more amazing than those peaks is that it is almost 10 o'clock at night. The State House is delaying until Monday a vote that could lead to the tapping of the Alaska Permanent Fund to pay for state government. Eagle River Republican House Speaker Pete Cott said the scheduled vote to have occurred Friday was delayed due to the absence of 2 House members. The proposed constitutional amendment would change the method of calculating distributions from the $27.9 billion fund. Before the amendment can be put to voters, it must pass a 2/3 vote in both the House and Senate. A train exploded in North Korea yesterday, killing hundreds, injuring thousands. U.S. defense officials say the blast at the train station in Ryongchon did extensive damage to areas 200 yards from the site of the blast, leveling the station, a schoolhouse, and damaging thousands of homes and apartments. Reports of the material causing the explosion include dynamite or explosives used in mining. A South Korean spokesperson reports that it may have been fuel. However, North Korean officials claim the blast was caused by human carelessness involving the improper contact of electricity with ammonium nitrate, a chemical used as fertilizer or in explosives. The blast occurred near the border of China. Coincidentally, North Korea's leader Kim Jong-il had recently passed through the station on his return from a 3-day visit to China. International aid workers are being allowed into North Korea, and President George W. Bush said that the U.S. will offer its assistance.
One more time. Carol, come forward.
In case you missed it the second time, the name is Carol Gold. Some people call her Dr. or Professor Gold, but on this night, she is the 2004 Ruth Lister Feminist of the Year. Dr. Gold, chair of the UAF History Department, received the award last Saturday, March 27th, at the 12th Annual Fabulous Feminist Fundraiser. She dedicated the award to her 92-year-old mother.
When my mother was born, women did not have the right to vote. I asked her recently, did she remember when women got the right to vote? Because she would have been about 9 years old. And she said no, because people in her family didn't talk about that with women.
History professor Tim Purcell considers her a close friend and exceptional mentor.
She really goes beyond the pale there. A lot of mentors sort of meet you once for lunch in your first year and that's it. She has checked in with me regularly to make sure courses are okay, University politics are okay.
Other highlights of the event included silent and outcry auctions, plus music by Sarah Hansen early in the evening, and Lynn Basham and Celtic Confusion later. The event raised $20,000 for the Alaska Women's Lobby. The star auction items were delectable desserts bid on by tables for after-dinner enjoyment. The term feminist carries a lot of baggage, but Dr. Gold is more than happy to lug it around. Dr. Gold was instrumental in the foundation of the UAF Women's Center. She has been a faculty member of UAF since 1980. She describes herself as a lifelong feminist long before she even knew the word.
The first time I heard the word feminist, which I think was 66, I said, wow, that's what I am. Yeah, no, always, always. You know, if you stop stirring the pot, then it burns. You can't stop stirring the pot. You gotta keep going.
From the Chena River Convention Center in Fairbanks, I'm Michael Lovecraft for UAF Weekly News. Spring pushes out the harsh Alaska winter. Breakup has arrived. Daylight hours have increased dramatically and temperatures are on the rise. The pristine icy white landscape is transformed. Snow melts into muddy flows. Bicycling replaces snow machining as a popular pastime. Lawns and hillsides will soon turn green. For the last few weeks, we've dodged pond-sized puddles, mire and mud, and secret slicks of slushy ice. It's an exciting time full of blue skies and plenty of sunshine. Amid this burgeoning beauty, a dark cloud hangs over Alaska. According to a new study by the Alaska Injury Prevention Center, more Alaskans take their own lives in the months of April and May. Between 1990 and 2002, there were 1,618 suicides. Of those, 150 occurred in April, 153 in May. But the data is little surprise to mental health professionals.
Springtime's the busiest time of year for me. Springtime is the time of year, and this really surprises people, that I think all mental health providers see an increase in activity, see an increase in referrals.
In 2002, the national rate was close to 11 deaths per 100,000 people. The Alaska rate? Almost twice that. John Fellerath, director of UAF's Center for Health and Counseling, puts this dubious distinction into perspective.
There are also areas of the U.S. with very low rates. For example, the Northeast states. If you look at those states, I think if you look through New England, you'll see relatively low rates, 4, 5, 6 per 100,000. So we may be twice the national average. We might be 4 times the average of New England.
Caroline Crisis Intervention Program Director Kimberly Vanderhoof is on the front lines of suicide prevention.
My concerns are that sometimes we get so focused in one thing during one part of the year, but we forget that suicides also happen in November and December. I don't know that it is all suicides happen in April and May. That hasn't been our experience.
From Fairbanks, I'm Michael Lovecraft for UAF Weekly News.